Happy belated World Tourism Day, which apparently is a thing. And to celebrate, we've got some news. So, for our first bit of news, in partnership with the United Nations World Tourism Organization, Niantic has unveiled the first ever Pokemon Go World Tourism Day event. For this event, they have released a few features that are, some of which are available from now until forever, and some of which are only available until Tuesday, October 1st at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So for the features that are released permanently, for one, there is a brand new shirt that is free to choose over in the style shop. So if you want to rock that United Nations World Tour Organization shirt, you can go ahead and do so right now. Also added to the game are that the regional Pokemon are now added to 5-kilometer eggs. But unlike the Kanto regionals that were available in the Ultra bonus, these Pokemon are only able to hatch from the eggs gained from their respective regions. So the Pokemon such as Farfetch'd, Kangaskhan, Tauros, Heracross, Corsola, Volbeat, Illumise, Torkoal, Zangoose, Seviper, Lunatone, Solrock, Tropius, Relicanth, Pachirisu, Chatot, Pansage, Pansear, Pampor, Heatmor, and Durant are only available in 5k eggs that you gained from their respective regions. So basically, if you get an egg from Australia, you may have a chance to get you may be able to get Kangaskhan, Durant, and possibly Pansear, I believe. But if you get an egg from, say, California or somewhere in the United States, you'll be able to get like Heracross, Heatmor, or Panpour. A couple Pokemon that were notably absent from the list that Niantic gave, one of which was Carnivine, which I'm assuming they just forgot to add into this list, and we'll be adding it to the 5k region-locked pool anyway. But the other Pokemon that they did not mention is Mr. Mime. And that is because during this event, Mime Jr. will be available to hatch from 5k eggs from Europe. And if you're lucky, you may be able to even get a shiny Mime Jr. Also worth noting is that as of now, both Zangoose and Seviper now have shiny forms. So if you're in the Americas and Greenland region, you'll be able to get yourself a shiny Seviper. And if you're in the Europe, Asia, Africa, and Middle East regions, you'll be able to get a shiny Zangoose. So for the features of this event that are only available until Tuesday, October 1st at 1 p.m. Pacific time, one of which is a decreased Stardust cost in trading. So trading Pokemon will now cost 1/4 less Stardust than it originally did. And from now until October 1st, if you spin any Pokestops that you haven't visited before, you'll be able to get 2 times the amount of XP that you normally would. And also, they have added 3 specially themed field research tasks for this event. So for that one, the 3 research tasks are one of which is to trade a Pokemon caught 10,000 kilometers apart, and that one will get you a chance to catch either a Zangoose or Seviper. The most notable thing about this field research is that it actually gives you the rival Pokemon that you normally wouldn't get in the wild. So if Seviper is currently available on the wild for you, then you'll be able to get possibly a shiny Zangoose out of the field research, and vice versa. Another field research that you can get during World Tourism Day is to make a new friend, and if you complete that, you'll be able to get a Nose Pass, which, yes, Probopass is a pretty solid Pokemon to strive for, so that's kind of nice. And the last new field research for this event is to send 25 gifts to friends. And this research task will reward you with a Lapras, which does have a chance to be shiny. Now, admittedly, this event was not the most well received, and I can kind of see why. After all, with the exception of the new shinies and Zangoose and Viper. For the most part, the only other thing that's very exciting about this event is the fact that Mime Jr. has been released. But unfortunately, Mime Jr. is only available in the Europe region, and even worse, it's only available in 5k eggs that you get from the Europe region. And even though you now have a chance to get your respective regionals from 5k eggs, the fact that is additional Pokemon that you have to get from the 5k pool, which admittedly is already a very, very packed and very long list of Pokemon, is to a good amount of people just another Pokemon that they really don't want to see hatch out of eggs. But I do see why they decided to put the regionals all available into 5k eggs, mainly because that still gives people incentive to be willing to travel to new places in order to get those region-specific Pokemon. But personally, I thought it would have been cool if they added it to 7k eggs in gifts that are received from their respective regions. So if you received a gift from a friend who lives in the UK or in Spain, and you open it and get a 7k egg from that gift, you may get a chance to get a Mime Jr. out of that egg. But while I do think it is a good way to incentivize making friends with people in more regions, I do think it also partially defeats the purpose in even having them as region exclusives to begin with. So I can kind of see why they did put it in 7k eggs, but I don't know, I think would have been cool. Next bit of news, just a quick reminder that Mewtwo with the exclusive charge move Side Strike will be returning as a legendary raid hour on Tuesday, October 8th from 6 to 7 p.m. at your local time. Niantic has recently also added that during that time, you'll not only be able to get your usual free daily raid pass, but you'll also be able to get 2 more free raid passes during that hour. So during that time, you'll be able to get a total of 3 free raid passes during that time. So definitely, if you haven't gotten yourself a Mewtwo with Side Strike yet, or if you're still hunting out for that shiny Mewtwo, definitely capitalize on those two more free raid passes. In other news, Niantic has made some changes to the way trainer battles work. Some of the changes are to the combat system in general, which include changes to the timing for damage dealt and energy charging, as well as an aesthetic difference in that Pokemon's health bar will now briefly pulse when it receives damage. In addition to that, they've also made some updates to some existing attacks available in Pokemon Go. One of the moves that is affected from this change is Bubble Beam, which will now have a reliable attack debuff. They've also made some nerfs to Power Up Punch, so that's primarily a move more used for its attack buff rather than its attack damage. They've also made a major change to Psychic, in which Psychic can deal more damage and can be used sooner, not only in trader battles but also in gyms and in raids. And they've also made changes to the fast move Snarl so it can provide more energy generation with each time that fast move is used. They have also added 2 new moves to Pokemon Go. One of which is Thunder Fang, which is now available for Arcanine, Steelix, Mightyena, and Hippowdon. The other move that they've added is Ice Fang, which is available to Suicune, Mightyena, Mawile, Hippowdon, and Drapion. Also worth noting is that Fire Fang's damage has been increased in order to match up with Thunder Fang and Ice Fang. Some other moves that have been added to specific Pokemon. For one, Alolan Raichu has been given the fast move Thunder Shock. Alolan Slash has been given the charge move Ice Punch. Alolan Ninetales has been given the Fairy type fast move Charm. Golduck has been given 3 new possible charge moves in Bubble Beam, Synchronoise, and Cross Chop. Alolan Marowak has been provided the moves Fire Spin and Flame Wheel. Mantine's been given the charge move Bubble Beam. Malval has been given Fire Fang, Ice Fang, and Power Up Punch. And Weavile has been given Snarl. So with all of these new changes to both the combat timing as well as the changes to the move pools and even to some of the moves themselves, very interested to see how this is going to shake up trainer battles in general and to see even how this is going to affect the meta for the upcoming Sinister Cup this coming October. And so for my last bit of news, there seemed to have been a major and sudden change to the spawn points for Pokemon worldwide. Doesn't seem like it's a very positive change. While there have been some very few people who have reported that they're seeing more spawns in their area that they haven't ever seen before, there have been a lot, and I mean a lot, of people who are reporting major disappearances of cluster spawns, which are being reduced from like 5 or 6 Pokemon all the way down to maybe 1 or 2, to even the disappearances of some spawns in general, where there used to be a fair amount of Pokemon and now there are absolutely no Pokemon spawning in the region. There have been discussions in the Silphrov subreddit as well as an article from Pokemon Go Hub regarding spawn changes, so I'll go ahead and leave a link to those two down in the description below. Actually, I'll also leave a link to a Polygon news article that addresses this very issue, and I'll also leave that in the link in the description below. But earlier today, Niantic did respond to this criticism to the spawn changes on Twitter. Kind of. The actual tweet reads, "We're always looking for new ways to optimize the Pokemon Go experience for trainers. To this end, we've recently updated where Pokemon can be encountered. We strive to improve with every change, and thank you for your feedback. Stay tuned for more details." So with that said, I will definitely post an update later on when Niantic does release more information regarding these new spawn changes. Personally for me, I haven't actually played in the past couple of days, so I primarily due to a minor lower back injury that I received a couple of days ago. But as soon as I can, I'll definitely try and check around my area to see how my spawns have been affected by this sudden change. The thing that frustrates me the most about this is there hasn't really been any form of notification or any form of communication from Niantic's end about this entire change. Like, if they were to come out and say that, oh yeah, the spawn points are changing and we're removing clusters and whatnot, while it would still be negatively received, I think it wouldn't have been as negatively received as this, since there was no news of any form of spawn changes, and with that, a lot of people are just left without a lot of their usual spawns and left to ask, why is this happening? So I do think, while it wouldn't have made everyone happy, I think clearer communication would have been fairly more welcomed in this particular instance. But fortunately, it does seem like they will finally be addressing this issue possibly tomorrow or within the next couple of days or so. So definitely keep an eye out on that, and once again, we'll definitely keep you updated when we receive more information about this issue. So that's all of the news I have for today. Once again, happy belated World Tourism Day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.